The neon lights of the Strip usually celebrate the predictable, but what just occurred inside the Westgate resort has left the music industry in a state of genuine disbelief. For years, the world viewed Angelina Jordan through the lens of a jazz prodigy, a soul from the past trapped in a young girl's frame. However, this month's Residency performances have officially shattered that image, replacing it with something far more complex and, frankly, a bit unsettling. You might think you know that voice, but the person standing on that stage in Nevada looked and sounded like a total stranger to the fans who raised her. Observers noted that the atmosphere in the room shifted the moment she stepped into the spotlight. Gone were the safe, polite jazz standards, replaced by a raw, guttural energy that seemed to vibrate through the floorboards. Critics are calling it a vocal rebirth, but the intensity of her performance has sparked a wave of concern. She wasn't just singing songs, she was telling a story of survival that felt uncomfortably personal. The way she commanded the room was almost authoritative, a far cry from the shy girl who once stood barefoot on a talent show stage. Industry insiders who were present behind the scenes claim the energy backstage was just as heavy, with a closed-set policy and an aura of extreme secrecy surrounding her every move. This wasn't just a concert series, it was a declaration of independence from her past, and it has left the American audience divided. Some are hailing her as the new Queen of Soul, while others are whispering that this radical transformation might be a sign of a deeper, more turbulent internal struggle that she isn't yet ready to discuss with the public. While the world was still reeling from her live performances, Angelina pulled a move straight out of the high-stakes pop playbook, blindsiding the industry with a dual-album release that no one saw coming. Secret of Love and Secret of the Soul didn't just arrive, they exploded onto digital platforms, bypassing traditional PR cycles and going straight to the fans. Beneath the catchy melodies and soaring vocals lies a series of lyrical puzzles that have internet sleuths working overtime to uncover the truth. The tracks are a massive departure from her previous work, leaning into a haunting, cinematic sound that feels both modern and timeless. However, it's the lyrical content of songs like The Day I Chose You that has caused the most friction. Rumors are swirling that these songs are direct responses to the accusations and legal issues she's been facing behind closed doors for the last year. The albums have already triggered a massive surge in her digital following, crossing the million-follower mark on several platforms in record time, but the success comes with a side of mystery. Why would an artist at the height of her jazz career suddenly pivot to such a dark, brooding original sound? Some suggest it's a calculated rebranding effort to distance herself from the child star label, while others believe these albums are a desperate attempt to communicate a truth that her management has forbidden her from speaking aloud. The timing of the drop, occurring exactly as her legal drama reached a boiling point, suggests that these songs aren't just art. They're a strategic defense mechanism used to control a narrative that was rapidly spinning out of her reach. The glamour of her American success stands in stark contrast to the brewing legal nightmare waiting for her across the Atlantic. Reports have surfaced that a major European broadcaster filed a massive claim against her, demanding upwards of $12,000 for what they describe as blatant contract violations. Behind that multi-million-dollar smile is a paper trail of broken agreements and courtroom battles that threaten to bankrupt the star's reputation. The conflict stems from her sudden and unexplained withdrawal from the Melodi Grand Prix, a move that left organizers and fans in Norway completely stunned. At the time, her team remained tight-lipped, but as the legal pressure mounted this month, new details began to leak out. It appears the violations weren't just about a missed performance. They involve a fundamental disagreement over her creative direction and who owns the rights to her evolving image. This financial demand is a drop in the bucket for a star of her caliber, but the accusations surfaced in the court documents suggest a much deeper rift between Angelina and the European institutions that first discovered her. There are whispers that she felt trapped by old-world contracts that didn't allow her the freedom to explore the shocking, new sound she debuted in Vegas. Now, as the lawyers circle, the industry is watching to see if she will settle quietly, or if this will turn into a full-blown public, exposed moment that could damage her ability to perform in Europe ever again. The tension is palpable, and the stakes couldn't be higher for a young artist trying to maintain a global footprint while her foundation is being sued from underneath her. Perhaps the most shocking element of Angelina's recent journey isn't the music or the money, but the genuine fear for her safety that has recently come to light. Her legal representatives finally broke their silence this month, hinting at the real reason she vanished from the public eye and pulled out of major European events last year. While fans were complaining about canceled shows, Angelina was reportedly living a real-life thriller, hiding from threats that were deemed too dangerous to ignore. The personal security concerns mentioned in recent filings aren't just vague excuses. They involve specific threats that forced her team to hire around-the-clock protection and move her to undisclosed locations in the United States. This revelation adds a layer of darkness to her recent Vegas shock transformation. It suggests that her new, guarded persona isn't just an artistic choice but a psychological armor. The legal issues she's facing are now being viewed through a different lens. Perhaps she didn't break her contracts because she wanted to, but because she literally couldn't step out in public without risking her life. The industry has seen this before with rising stars, but for someone as young as Angelina, the pressure is immense. This month, as she finally begins to step back into the light, the presence of heavy security at her meet and greets is a constant reminder that the oft threats made against her were very real. It's a chilling reminder that fame at this level comes with a price that isn't measured in dollars, but in the loss of basic freedom and the constant shadow of accusations and fear. While the legal and security battles rage on, a new rumor has taken hold in the canyons of California, where Angelina has been spotted spending an unusual amount of time. Sources close to the iconic recording studios in Los Angeles claim she has been in lockdown sessions with a legendary producer known for taking underground artists and turning them into global icons. If the whispers are true, this secret partnership is about to release a sound that will make her previous jazz hits sound like nursery rhymes. This mystery collaborator is notorious for staying out of the exposed lifestyle of Hollywood, yet his touch is on some of the biggest records of the last decade. The shock here is the direction they're taking. Eyewitnesses describe the new material as dark pop with heavy industrial influences, a far cry from the soul-soothing jazz her fans expect. This shift is reportedly what caused the initial friction with her European management, who wanted her to stay in the safe lane. By choosing to work with this mystery figure, Angelina is essentially burning her bridges with the traditional music establishment to build something entirely new. The recent Beach Live streams showed a glimpse of this new world, with Angelina looking more confident and revealed than ever before, but also more isolated. This collaboration represents a massive gamble. If it works, she becomes a trendsetter. If it fails, she risks alienating the OD level of support she's spent a decade building. The industry is holding its breath for the first official single from these sessions, which many believe will be the final nail in the coffin for her prodigy image. As we look at the total picture of Angelina Jordan this month, one cannot help but worry about the immense OD of pressure resting on the shoulders of a 20-year-old. Between the sold-out Vegas shows, the double album drop, the looming European lawsuits, and the security threats, she's navigating a minefield that would destroy a veteran artist. The question isn't just whether she can stay at the top, but whether the human being behind the voice can survive the machinery of her own success. There is a growing concern among her most loyal fans that she is being pushed too hard by a management team that is desperate to capitalize on her rebranding, while the iron is hot. Her uncle and longtime advisors have remained notoriously silent regarding the accusations of overworking her, leading to SHT talking on social media about her well-being. During her last few public appearances, observers noted that while her voice was flawless, her eyes told a different story, one of exhaustion and a DMN-heavy burden. She is currently at a crossroads where her art, her safety, and her legal status are all colliding at once. The shocking truth might simply be that we are witnessing the birth of a legend, but the labor is proving to be incredibly painful. As she prepares for the next phase of her global tour, the world is left wondering, is Angelina Jordan the master of her own destiny, or is she caught in a revealed trap of her own making? Whatever the answer, she has ensured that for the first time in years, everyone is looking at her, not as a child with a gift, but as a woman with a dangerous story to tell.